The chief of army staff stated that the war against Boko members has lingered because of propaganda and hardcore ideology which has lasted for many years. BURUTAI, who admitted that there has been a minimal resurgence, said the indoctrination which pushed some members of the group into taking up arms began over 40 years ago. He said insurgency is not what you defeat and it would fizzle out. They would revert to other tactics, that is terrorism. They will promote propaganda to the effect that all the institutions of government would be seen to be ineffective. This is what they are doing. They are exploiting the fault lines in our economic and political endeavors to expand the gulf of so-called discord and acrimony amongst various ethnic and religious groups. Why are they doing this propaganda, blocking the road and capturing individuals because they are of a particular religion? Unfortunately, they murder those individuals and send it to the world. These are propaganda strategies of the terrorists. These individuals may be living with you and you would not know that they are with those groups who are taking people's lives. They have a series of informants and logistics suppliers. They have a series of leadership strata that live in the communities and towns nearby. They pass information and organize those that are hidden along the borders in remote areas or communities who come, attack and go back. They also have a series of recruiters. Looking at it from this perspective, you would see that it is a complex operation you cannot wish to just go. At the National Assembly, I said indoctrination of the citizens did not start in 2009. It started much earlier, and it grew until it reached that point where they took arms against the state. It is an indoctrination that has taken root between 10 and 40 years back, and for you to be and for you to de-radicalize an individual to bring him back to sanity, you think it would just take you 3 years, 4 or 10 years. These are people that were brainwashed to believe that when they die, they will go straight to heaven. And you think they would believe in you to bring them back to mix with the people they refer to as unbelievers. You have to look at this context. Burutai also stated that the Nigerian army will continue to target Boko members individually and as a group until they narrow the overall leader. So guys, I'm sure you can hear what Burutai, the chief of army staff, is trying to justify. It is a big blow on the Nigerian army. It is a big blow on Nigerian government, on the Nigerian government. It is a big blow to us even as a Nigeria, as Nigerians. You can imagine the kind of excuses that this guy is giving. Is this exercise? And meanwhile, we are spending billions of naira. And they didn't tell us. Buhari did not tell us that it will take that it is not something like 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, and it will just fizzle out like that. That if people are thinking like that, that they don't even know what this whole thing is all about. Do you know that Buhari supporters have been coming out to lambast the Chadian government, president, this and this and that? That means he knows what, he knows where they are, he knows where the Shekawu is because he's not bragging that they are going to get him down. It's like this chief of staff, chief of army staff, is language beginning to change because these excuses. Stop telling us all this is because every now and then hearing, even if I think maybe it's even on a monthly basis, they get money, they allocate money for them for this security thing. So you are not telling us, but Buhari did not tell us that oh, it's not an easy thing. They were blaming the former administration. Oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Now people said, okay, you have what it takes because you have experience, you are a professional as far as security is concerned. They brought you in and you could not do anything. See what they are doing. Change service chiefs. You say you cannot change service chiefs. That no matter what will happen, no matter what happens, whether they change service chiefs or they don't change service chiefs, it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to change the narratives. That is not as if he himself is trying to force himself or to push himself to continue to be in that group as one of the service chiefs and what have you. Now he's not telling us a different story because what a Chadian government or the troops they've really done, and it's putting them to shame. Guys, can you see that this is the pattern of this present administration? Of course, because they are working with them. working with this present administration, because they're always giving excuses. Oh, they will tell you, oh, Nigerians are impatient. Oh, they think everything can just go out like that. Oh, things will just work out like that. Oh, they think everything is just is magic. It's not magic. It takes time. But you didn't tell us when you guys were coming. Nobody told us that oh, it's going to take time, because the same propaganda that himself is talking about, the same propaganda that Buhari and his people use in coming in. Now they are there. They wanted the power. They have the power, but what are they doing with the power? Nothing. It's excuses. Oh, I think he's going to be blaming PDP for that. He's going to be blaming PDP for that. That he told the National Assembly, this is indoctrination. Oh, those people that have been brainwashed and what have you. Why can't you devise means for you also to be able to do something? So since they have learned some things, so that they will unlearn. It is possible. But the only thing they are doing is for them to tell us that, oh, they have repented. Now he's talking about it is not easy for people to just, those who have been brainwashed. It is not easy. But they told us that some people just got repented and they are sending them abroad for schooling, and you recruited them back into the system. Are they not the ones who are giving information even to their people out there? And how do you expect to function well when you already have people? Because I don't think these people repented genuinely. I don't think so. You are talking of propaganda, then you have the intelligence. You always do your intelligence gathering or your intelligence report. Then why have you not been able to do that? Like I always talk that this the government needs to go to the root of this whole thing. Recently, we saw some of them that confessed, and they talked about what has been happening from time to time, how they are how they have been enjoying what they've always paid them. And some of them, majority of them, talked about their that they how did they put, I just want to remember the way they put that that motivated them to continue in that act, because what they pay them is something that they enjoy, and they love it, because they pay them handsomely. Then what brought about it? Is it not because of the government itself has not been able to do the needful? Because if some people have been indoctrinated, or if they have been brainwashed to believe a particular something, then what is the government doing? Like we know that we have a national orientation agency that will be able to teach people. They don't even function these days. They'll be able to pass out information every now and then, if it is going to be through song, once people begin to hear that, and at the end of the day, it goes beyond that. That's okay, you are just going to be telling them, but you need to provide something. Make the environment conducive for the people, because when poverty is at its peak, people can do and undo. Because the people that confess, those of the Boko people that confess, they talked about the money they have been getting from that, and it's really encouraging them to do more. Because of the money, some of them bought car, did a lot of things. It's not as if maybe they really wanted to do it, but because of the money coming out from the whole thing. So why can't you try to even make the society be more conducive, comfortable for people, enabling environment for people to thrive, to do the right thing? These excuses are not tenable, in my opinion. These excuses are not tenable. You can imagine what he's trying to say, that people just think that 4, 3, 4, 5, 10 years it will just fade up like that. But you are getting money, billions of naira every now and then, and you tell us that you are tackling them. Some months ago, that was not what he told us. He was telling us, giving Nigerians hope, the same hope they will continue to give, and meanwhile there is nothing on ground that is happening. But this Chadian troops that did what they did and dealt with these Boko people has further exposed them. It has exposed them. Let's hear what people are saying. Someone says here that is BURUTAI a lecturer or a soldier? I'm confused. Another says you are not. He is a soldier. Someone say you are the best comedian of the year. Bro, Kai, this your comedy bad though. Kai, I salute. Someone say Abio, Ataya, or you see a lecturer, or you see a soldier. Someone say stop talking and telling stories. Emulate Chad, my friend. BURUTAI, stop giving story why Chad is taking glory. Your small brother is executing, but you are excusing. Nigeria will never forgive you and your masters for the families you have recklessly destroyed. Oga BURUTAI, you know much about this spirits of indoctrination that can't depart from them, yet you capture them, pardon them, and integrate them into the society while knowing fully well that they will still go back to their evil life. Behold, you are exposing yourself and the deceit you were taught to deliver to us all. You can imagine. And it's true. That was why I said, if really they want to make us to believe that these people really repented, did they repent genuinely? And you put them and bring them back into the system, into the army, and you want your people to work very well, and you expect people not to leak some information to this thing. They will still continue to pay allegiance to the people that they've been working for. What are we talking about here? Someone says, is this man a soldier or a fire brigade man? A whole Chadian president led an attack against Boko people. You army general, stay here talking history. If you finish your book, move men to Sambisa, forget and finish the work President Idris Deby left over for you. Someone says, if it were to be Nnamdi Kanu now, you send a full battalion to go and fight him in his village. Someone says, you are a chicken-minded army who doesn't know anything than to kill innocent Nigerians. The brag you coming, you are coming out to brag, and at the end of the day, the Chadian troop, they've already exposed you guys. Someone say, what BURUTAI is saying is story. General Abacha in his blessed memory said, any insurgent that lasts for more than 24 hours, the government hand is there. And someone say, you are not a politician, you are not a historian, you are a soldier. Go and clear the idiots. You are here giving us story. These are mere rhetorics. Either the army is politicized, trained, equipped, or all of the above, or completely corrupted and through and through. If Chad, that is less than the size of Lagos State in all its ramifications, can do what has gone viral these past few days, there's something fundamentally wrong with the Nigerian army, and by extension, the Nigerian leadership. All the historical antecedents of BURUTAI should be reserved for historians. So guys, let us hear your own opinion concerning what the chief of army staff has said. BURUTAI, he has said a lot of things, meaning that all that you have heard, at least you should be able to consider them. It is not an easy thing based on what he has said. And people are saying, this man, you are not an historian, you are not a lecturer, you are a soldier. Go and do your work, forget all this history, leave it for people who will be able to tell the stories better. If you do well, they will be able to tell your stories better, because the Chadian president now, people are beginning to tell stories. So people want to tell story about you. Which story do you want people to talk about, concerning you? Good story or bad story? So go and do your work. So guys, leave your comment below and let's